Hello, today I'm going to be talking about Kendall Jenner and her COVID-19 situation. But first, let's start off with who is Kendall Jenner? Kendall Jenner was born November 3rd, 1995, to parents Kris Jenner and Caitlyn Jenner. She started her career as a model at age 14. But first, let's start off with who is Kendall Jenner? Kendall Jenner was born November 3rd, 1995, to parents Kris Jenner and Caitlyn Jenner. She started her career as a model at age 14. Although she is known for her modeling, she is most famous for her role on the reality TV show Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Keeping Up with the Kardashians centered most around her three older sisters and her younger sister Kylie. The Kardashians are known for their extravagant lifestyles and their larger-than-life way of living. Keeping Up with the Kardashians had its first season in 2007, and its final season will air in 2021. Throughout the year of 2020, the United States and the entire world has been dealing with the COVID-19 outbreak. COVID-19 has completely disrupted the normal way of life. Social gatherings are obsolete and you cannot go anywhere without a mask on. Life as we know it has completely stopped. As of December 9th, 2020, worldwide cases have hit 69.9 million. The deaths of worldwide have hit 1.59 million, and 45.1 million people have recovered. In the United States alone, we've had 15.7 million cases and 293,000 deaths. And in California alone, we've had 1.49 million cases and 21,000 deaths. California is one of our most populous states, so it is not surprising that it has been one of our most hard-hit states, a limited amount of people allowed in one place at a time in the country. Masks. The most common COVID regulations there are a limited amount of people allowed in one. Also included in this is not having gatherings of more than 10 people. And as have noticed on the news, Also included in this is not having gatherings of more than 10 people. And that's how we can tie Kendall Jenner and COVID-19 together. And that's how we can tie Kendall Jenner and COVID-19 together. On October 31st, 2020, Kendall Jenner threw her 25th birthday party about 3 days. On October 30th, the party was on Harriet's rooftop at one hotel in West Hollywood in California. The party was on Harriet's rooftop at one hotel. There were signs posted throughout the venue to not use social media. There were signs posted throughout the venue to not use social media while at her party. Not only did Kendall receive backlash for hosting a birthday party, she received backlash for hosting it with over 100 people, and as you can see in the video, a waiter while wearing a mask is holding a cake while a mask. The caption above it reads, "Okay, Kendall Jenner blowing out candles." The caption above it reads, "Okay, Kendall Jenner blowing out candles as a masked waiter holds her cake and tries to move out of the way was actually the scariest thing I saw on Halloween." This was a tweet that I found on Twitter that actually also showed the video. This was how I found out. While doing research on this topic, it was really hard to on this topic. It was really hard to find reliable sources because she is a celebrity, and a lot of the articles I found were on tabloid websites. But I found a couple things that said that the waiters and waitresses, like the staff members there, were uncomfortable with what was going on. But it's hard to say if they really. Something I do know to be true is the way that people react. Something I do know to be true is the way that people reacted on Twitter for Kendall's actions. The next morning, November 1st, I woke up and I saw Kendall Jenner trending, and it was videos and pictures of her birthday party. Different celebrities were there, no masks, and everyone talking about. Now, for the aftermath of this situation, surprisingly, we did not hear anything from Kendall, which is a little bit out of the ordinary because most of the time, especially within her family, if a situation like this occurs, a lot of times they reply themselves. Like a lot of times when Kim Kardashian has had her own, I hate the word scandal, but a scandal or a situation of her own, she has put her own statement out or has come out saying, I'm sorry, I was wrong for this, I will fix it. But in Kendall's case, she did not come out and do this. Her mother, Kris, did it. Kris, who I must also mention is her manager, made an appearance on the Sirius XM show Radio Andy and spoke about the situation. Kris told Andy that we live our lives trying to be really good people. We are dealing with a lot of people who have different opinions, and all we can do is live our lives the best way we know how and be responsible and do the right thing. And we're doing that. And I think I'm very sensitive to what was going on. Believe me, you know, I really tried so hard. Kris went on to mention that they are very lucky to work in an industry where they get tested once or twice a week because of the filming of their reality show, and they tend to get tested anyway whenever they get into a gathering, no matter how big or small. And when I say get tested, I am referring to be COVID tested. Kris also made the statement, at Kendall's, everyone got tested before they walked in the door and they had to wait half an hour until the results were in. She also continued that people were also tested a few days before Halloween, so they were really responsible, and we made sure that everyone in our family and our closest friends are tested religiously. On people being critical about Kendall's party, Kris said, we do what we can. We try to follow the rules, and then if people are commenting and they're being critical, I can't control that. I can control how we behave, and I try to do the best we can. After going over this case with Kendall, I can see how it relates to relationship management theory. With community relationships, the organization, which in this case would be Kendall, supports the interests of the community, which would be, the rest of us or, her fans, people that follow her. And as we've been told by like Dr. Fauci and many other specialists during our pandemic, that it's best to stay home, even if, everybody gets tested. I mean, you could test negative one day, and then like 2 days later you could test positive just because you're not in the stage yet that you could be testing positive. So a lot of times you cannot, they are trustworthy, but you cannot always trust it. It's best to not go out in big groups and to not have these gatherings and parties. Just because you are a celebrity doesn't mean you are immune from getting COVID. And because Kendall chose to have this party, it doesn't really show she supports the interest of the community. Like the organization Kendall does not support Interscope community, as in us. And also building off of that with a symbolic relationship that Kendall has, like a symbolic relationship is an image of an organization. So like Kendall's image, something like this, as in, having the birthday party in the middle of a pandemic, does not make her look good. It shows a lack of, I would say, compassion, a lack of awareness that there are, people dying. There are frontline workers who go to work every day. They see the people die. They treat the people with COVID, but as maybe a celebrity, she is not in that. A lot of times you are able to be a little bit more protective because you have the money to do that. And it maybe just has to do with the fact that there's an unawareness and there's a lack of a connect. And so with this action, there has been a break possibly in her symbiotic relationship between her and the people who look up to her. And now just going over this case as a whole, my takeaways from it, I find this to be poorly handled. Even though Kris, as her mother, is her manager, Kendall's 25 years old. She's grown. She is a professional in her field. She needed to come out for it herself. It would have felt quite a bit more genuine if she would have come forward and said, I made a mistake. This is a very serious thing that's going on. And even though everybody was tested, it was in poor taste for me to have a large party. It was selfish for me to have this large party. Okay, now, so I'm just going to go over a couple of my takeaways.
And also, I want to take another look at these pictures that I have on this slide. It shows the other And also, I want to take another look at these pictures that I have on this slide. It shows the other celebrities that are in here. They, again, are not wearing masks. And even though it was mentioned by Kris that everybody was tested, it does not always mean that what they want to perceive was what was accepted by the public. And I think that's the biggest takeaway we have to have here. Yes, everybody was tested. Yes, everyone came back negative who was there, but the public did not like what was happening. And because these are public figures, they are people who take criticism. And they, again, it's because they are public figures, they are in a place where they can take more criticism than other people, and they are held to a higher standard. And is that right? And I want to end this with, I just do not think there was any ill intention with this party happening. I just think a lot of people,
and as I had mentioned also,
I said that this was poorly handled
and tired of all this happening.
It shouldn't have happened.
It's a group
the caption in one of the tweets that I found, it says, this Halloween birthday party for Kendall Jenner,
here.
Everything needs to be
a blank ton of people, zero social distancing, and only people wearing masks are the frustrated because
the rich.
I
hate it here.
Things like this.
It shows then again the stereotypical birthday party. She did not have to have a
the
birthday
rich
party.
Only care for themselves. They see themselves in a different light. They are untouchable, and that this COVID situation does not affect them the same way that it affects.
I'd like to thank you for listening to my presentation, and I hope you have a great day.
And so it just seems quite a bit of disconnect here. And when you are a public figure, you rely on the connections, like your connections that you have with your audience. And so when situations like this arise, it really damages that. And when you rely on that for your income and for your livelihood, you really need to be more careful of what you're doing. And I want to end this with, I just do not think there was any ill intention with this party happening. I just think a lot of people are tired of COVID and tired of all this happening, but yet, it's a group effort for COVID to end. Everybody needs to be on the same page here. Everything needs to be happening as a group effort, and I think people are being frustrated because of things like this. Kendall Jenner having a birthday party. She did not have to have a birthday party, but she did. And so I'd like to thank you for listening to my presentation, and I hope you have a great day.